What's up, everybody? It's Greg Tastic here. And in the video I released before this one, I had discussed that I am looking to start a game collection in 2022. As I said in that video, I have zero games right now. Uh, I think that will change in another week or two. But right now, I literally don't have any physical games. I have an Xbox Series S in my living room, which I just purchased recently. And I have a bunch of digital games for that system. And I have a PC with a shitty graphics card right now that can't play any games. I think it's a G 750 Ti in there right now. I'm trying to get a better graphics card, but that's what I'm stuck with for now. And I have my Steam collection. So I'm literally starting from square one. I've had video game collections in the past. Originally, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I had a lot of video games, but I also sold a lot of games or, traded them into GameStop, Funko Land. Remember Funko Land? Stuff like that, which I regret. But also, as a kid who doesn't have money, that's kind of what the deal was. If I wanted to buy new stuff, I had to trade in the old stuff. Then when I got into high school, I started collecting games because I had disposable income. But then quickly after high school, I went to college and did not do well in college and had to start, working and paying my own bills and stuff. And I got rid of the games. And then as I kind of stabilized working and all that, I started the collection. And then I just looked at it one day and was like, this is wasting space and I can make money off of it. So I sold it. But now I'm in a situation where I have some space to myself. I have, more knowledge about how I could hopefully get a collection going, and I want to do it. But this video is basically, I'm optimistic about it, but this video is basically going to look at kind of like a few of the cons or reasons why I'm wondering, can you start a collection in 2022, and is it even worth it? Because you see a lot of other YouTubers talk about starting a video game collection. They're like, if I didn't start this 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I don't know what I would have, because the prices nowadays, the rarity nowadays is way more, and the people looking for games is way more than when they started. But I'm going to look at the biggest three reasons I feel I'm a little pessimistic about starting a collection and just discuss it a little bit. The first thing that I've noticed is stores are starting to really catch on to the fact that video games are popular and valuable and people want them. When I'm gonna say like 8 to 10 years ago, I was working at a school that was across the street from a thrift store. I was literally able to go to the thrift store every day during my lunch. I had a half an hour lunch, and I would go to the thrift store and scan real fast for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then with the second half of the lunch, I would actually get something to eat or eat what I had. And so I was able to be in the thrift store every day. So I was always finding stuff. I found like a Nintendo 64 for $15. I found so many games for under $5. I think the best one that I found was Twilight Princess was a GameCube release originally. I think so. Or maybe it was GameCube slash Wii. But I found the GameCube version. If I have that game wrong, I apologize. But I think it was Twilight Princess. I found the GameCube version there for like $2.50. I found a 3DO there for like $20, and I found a bunch of 3DO games for like $7 a piece. Found Sega Saturn games for $7 a piece. Just crazy deals all over the place. But I've noticed the last couple years, I haven't been collecting, but I still like to go to thrift stores and just see what they have and, catch the vibe of the place. And I've noticed over the last few years, they started to really catch up with Amazon and eBay prices. So they must have someone who looks up what these things are actually worth. The problem with that is your thrift store. I'm going to post some pictures of the last week, some crazy stuff that I've seen. I forget how many pictures I actually took. I know I took a picture of a Wii that they were selling for $60, a Genesis that they were selling for, I want to say 80, and I have another picture of a Genesis that they were selling for 150. And it's like these consoles weren't even complete with cords and a controller. These prices are insane. It's like they're looking on eBay or Amazon and seeing what the price is and just marking it that. And I understand that you're a thrift store and you're trying to make profit, and you should, research your products and price them, fair for both sides. So what do I mean by fair for both sides? No, you shouldn't be selling Zelda Twilight Princess on the GameCube for 250, but if you want to sell it for more, make sure that it works. Don't put out, discs that are all scratched and I can't return it if it doesn't work. It's one thing for you to go on eBay and say, "Oh, this game's selling for $40," but someone on eBay who I buy the game from for $40 is gonna take it back if it doesn't work. And if not, eBay is gonna get involved. It's one thing for you to say, "Oh, Wii's are selling for this price, Genesis are selling for this price." You don't even have the cables. Never mind a controller. Never mind. Have you tested this? Like, just because something's selling online for a certain price doesn't mean that you could sell it for that price in a thrift store. And if you're gonna sell it for equal prices, then why would I go to a thrift store? If you're gonna sell it for the same price as Amazon or eBay or more, why don't I just go to Amazon or eBay? Because I know it's gonna work. I don't have to look for it and hope it's there. I could just find it, and I'm gonna pay the same price. I also remember they were selling DS Lights for $80. No charger. Who knows if it works? Like, I'm sure it works. It's a DS Lite, but $80 at a thrift store for a DS Lite, $150 at a thrift store for Sega Genesis. So for me, 10 years ago, a big source of my collection being thrift stores, it's really hard now because thrift stores are realizing the value of games and, in my opinion, overpricing them to compensate for the fact that they have been underpricing them. Hopefully, they kind of find a balance because, okay, sell a Wii for $20, $30. Sell a Genesis for $20, $30 and let the person take a chance. But these prices are insane. And I do realize a lot of thrift stores have like 50% off, 75% off, 25% off days. But I just want to go in there. Like, I'm not trying to. I work 5, 6 days a week. I can't, plan my thrift store trips around your discounts. Maybe some people can. I don't know. The second thing that I see as a problem is more people want to start a collection or want to buy games, whether to collect them or resell them, and so the games are rarer than they usually are. Also, I didn't actually plan this to be in the video, but just real quick, like, everything is more rare and hard to find with COVID because people are at home, people have more free time with things like stimulus checks, more income to spend on stuff like this. Everything's harder to find right now, whether it be new stuff, whether it be toilet paper, hand sanitizer, whatever, but it is what it is. But yeah, more people, want to make YouTube videos, or are seeing YouTubers, or just in the scene somehow, and more people are looking for games, and demand always drives the price up. And I'm not going to go too deep into that one. It is what it is, and it kind of fits in with what I've been saying. And the third and final thing, the first two things were kind of blocks, like reasons I think that it might be hard to start a collection. The third thing that I want to talk about is it even worth starting a collection in 2022? And the reason I ask that is retro gamers and people who like old games are not going to ever want to admit this. Like, and I'm like them too. I want the physical copy of something. If I'm thinking about an N64 or a Genesis game I used to play as a kid, I want that physical copy. But digital games are the future, whether we want to admit that or not. Like, I'm sure there will always be a niche, stores that sell, eventually I don't think Best Buy, Target, Walmart are going to stock all the physical games that they do now. Is just not going to happen as time goes on. And there's some people who even wonder if we're going to have physical consoles. Well, we're always going to have something physical, but if we're going to have like a Netflix or a Chromecast type streaming device, and you see companies trying it, I think it's a ways off. Like, I think that's maybe 10 years down the road, but I do eventually think that's going to happen. So just look at PC games. You used to be able to buy physical PC games, and yeah, you still can now, but PC being on the forefront of technology more than consoles is more and more digital every day. And that's convenient. You know, I like physical games and I like having something displayed, all of that. But it's convenient to buy digital games, and because there's no supply and demand. Like, yeah, like if you get into the nitty gritty, they need to make keys for the game and yada yada yada. But you could make as many copies of the game as you want and sell it to people. There's no real limit on the supply. And even, supply chain stuff like that doesn't limit it. So it's easy, it's convenient. You don't have to leave the house. You could just download it right there. The other thing, and this is a big thing that I had a problem with when digital games first became a thing, and now it's getting better, is there's a lot of deals on digital games. Like if I was at my local, um, not my local, but I was at a video game store, like a retro game store the other day, and I was looking at a copy of KOTOR for the Xbox because KOTOR is one of my favorite games of all time, and definitely one of my favorite games for the Xbox. And I was looking at it; it was complete in box, and it was $12.99. And I said, "Wow, this is a really good deal for KOTOR. Like this is a great game for $13. That's not a bad deal. You don't even need to like go to thrift stores or eBay. Like how that deal is good right there. You could buy that and be happy with that because if you play that game, I'm sure you're gonna feel it was worth $13. But in Xbox's or Microsoft's Lunar Sale, you could buy KOTOR for $5, $4.99. So like they're making it easier and cheaper. At first, it was just easier because yeah, you could pay your $60, download the game. You don't have to go to the store. It's preloaded on your console. And now it's cheaper. You have to wait for a sale. Like there's still a lot of inconsistencies because physical games will go on sale more often and have like 2-for-1 sales and stuff like that. But when you catch a game you want digitally during a sale, you could get a pretty good deal on it. So where does that leave me? Uh, I worry about these things. I think it's going to be way harder between working 6 days a week, 5, 6 days a week, and between what thrift stores and other places are doing with the price gouging. I think it's going to be harder for me to start a collection up, but I don't think it's impossible. And it's something that I want to try and do and document over the course of this next year and see can you start a game collection up in 2022. I think you can, but I think it will be harder and more expensive, but I don't plan on spending a lot of money like cuz that's just not me. I need the deals, so I'm going to try and find them. Like if some things like say I really want KOTOR, I'll go pay $13 for it. I I don't need to wait until I can find KOTOR at a thrift store for $2 or $3. But the like 50, 60 and up dollar games, I want to find a deal on those. I don't want to spend $40 or $50 for a GameCube or a Genesis game because it's hard to find. I'm going to need to walk into the deals. So in my vlogs that I'm going to be doing this year, I'll provide you with updates about how the collection is going, and probably maybe like once a month or once every 2 months I'll make a video just documenting like what am I getting, how much is it costing, give people an idea, is this something you could do or not, and also talk to you about the temptation of do I want to buy this game, do I want to buy this game physically, or do I just want to download it? Because am I going to pay for the download and then also pay to get it physical if I find it? I don't know. But guys, let me know what you think about how I feel about video game collecting in 2022. Let me know if you have a collection or you're trying to start a collection. And if you are, we could kind of go over ideas and brainstorm with each other. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please give me a sub. I'm trying to get my subscribers up and be legit and consistent with content. And besides for that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.